Hello, everyone. I think the funny part about this is I've been sitting here listening to everyone's story, and I am a former Roman Catholic altar girl. The Italian explains that. My last name is Bourgoine. I'm also French-Canadian, and I'm a rural country girl from northern Maine who really likes hunting. So, a quintessential part of a study abroad experience is a very unfortunate mistranslation. I'm sure all of you can remember this. My experience was in Panama, and I went to Panama my junior year, 20 years old, slightly naive, and very excited about speaking Spanish. But as I just mentioned, I am from rural Maine. Guess how many people in Maine speak Spanish? One. Okay, just one. Great. Yes, I know him. And so I didn't really practice that much. I took 9 years of Spanish, but I didn't really learn enough because we just spoke in that accent, Dia. We just talked about Spanish. It was great. So I go to Panama, I get there, and I'm very excited. I've been on this, lengthy flight, and I arrive, and every day I find out that we're going to have Spanish immersion class, and we're going to have 4 hours of one-on-one teacher time. So I'm very excited about this because I hope it helps me ask where the bathroom is and other important things that you might need to know when you're in a foreign country for multiple months. So I meet with a teacher. She interviews me for 45 minutes, and after that she says, we're going to go with a beginner class for you. I said, all right, that's great. I'll take the beginner class, and thus begins a month of 4 hours, one-on-one, every morning of Spanish. And so I go to class every morning, and I find out that one of the ways that we're going to practice learning the Spanish language is by telling a story of our day, so going back and recounting our day. So I ate breakfast, I got on the bus, and one would think that this would get, pretty routine. Your day is routine. I live with a homestay family, but it does not get routine. I do not learn how to say breakfast, and every day becomes a struggle, and I show up and sit there and kind of smile awkwardly. And so because it's so quiet, they actually add other students into my class, help kind of bolster the confidence there. And so, I decided I really got to work on this. I really got to focus. I'm somebody that's very passionate and very driven, and I need to, kind of come out of my shell here and speak Spanish. So I'm walking home from class one day, and I'm thinking about this, and I get home, and I decide, I've got to go print this paper at the internet cafe here in Panama and turn that in for another class tomorrow, and, hopefully when I get to class, I'll have a story to tell. So I go to the internet cafe, and for those of you that ever traveled in Central America, there's a lot of road construction and things like that, but there's never any signage. It doesn't really tell you. So I am walking to the internet cafe, and I'm really excited. I'm going to print this paper. I did a really good job, and suddenly I'm in a hole. And I have fallen, and my whole leg is in this hole in the street, and there's like barbed wire and pipes, and my leg is in it, and there's a lot of blood, and I look down, and I've got kind of one leg on the street, and it's really uncomfortable. And so I get up, and I like pull my leg out of the hole, and there's like a lot of blood. I'm like, oh, okay, keep cool. We're in Panama. And so I decide, should I go home or should I go to the internet cafe? Probably should print that paper. That's most important. So I go to the internet cafe. There's no public restrooms in Panama, so I'm like, well, I'll just take the printer paper and stick that to my leg. So I'm like printing the paper, and the guy's looking at me like, what's going on? So I go home, and my homestay mom's slightly horrified, but I wake up the next morning, and I'm like, yes, I can't wait to go to Spanish class. I'm going to kill this story. It's going to be great. I have something to actually tell. It's not like I had, El Pan for breakfast. And so I get up, and I go to class, and I get there, and I find out it's a special day, and we're actually going to tell stories about our day in front of the entire school. And so I'm like, all right, that's great. I'm ready. And I get up in front of the class, as I was called by my teacher, who knows me very well at this point, and is kind of like, oh, I'll see how this goes. And I get up there, and I start telling the story, and I speak really fast, and I'm really excited because Panamanians speak really fast in Spanish, and this story is just flowing, and I start to tell the story of how I fell in this hole, and the barbed wire goes in my leg, and there's blood everywhere, and it's like all gory and gross and wonderful. And everybody, all of my American classmates in front of me are just laughing so hard, and I'm like, this is it. This is the moment I've waited for. I'm in front of people. They're laughing. They love my jokes. I'm killing it. It's great. There's blood. Everyone's happy. And I look in the back of the room, and there are like 8 teachers standing around, teacher, 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 and none of them are smiling or laughing. They clearly don't like my story, and clearly I have said something incredibly wrong. And I'm really concerned about that. So I look down at my American classmates, and I'm still on this roll, and I'm like, well, I'm going to finish this out because they're laughing, they're, having hysterical, enjoying themselves. So I finish the story out, and I'm like, all stars. And I walk off stage, and I'm standing there, and my teacher immediately comes from the back, right to the front. And she looks at me, and she says, Lindsay, the word for hole in Spanish is hueco. It's a masculine version. What you said was hueca, which is hole in slang, and what it means is a giant butch lesbian. And you have just told everyone that you fell into a giant butch lesbian and she ate you alive and there was blood everywhere. Thank you.